I will do the introduction. I am Brenda Jean Power. I'm a metaphysician, and I am from Medicine Woman Solution. And this is where your soul has a solution. Um, I don't need this on yet. So, why do we need a solution? Don't we hate it when somebody tries to solve our problems, or do we like it? Are we satisfied? Are we dissatisfied? And do we want to move forward and all of a sudden feel like there's an uncertainty? Why are these important? Why are these important? So just think about it for a moment as I get my chat board up so I can actually chat with people. So did you realize that there's a lot of people out there that don't believe that emotions affect their physical health? People don't realize that they can spiritually, so what does that part mean too? Spirituality. It's a whole different type of meaning, all these different things. But as you begin to awaken, there's a soul urge and there's a dissatisfaction, ennui, in what you're doing. So there can be a certain amount of boredom, a certain amount of things, so I couldn't understand why I was this mom and everything else. And it was like, what is this really strange feeling? And yet it wasn't a strange feeling. So the ennui, the dissatisfaction, I'm doing my best, but you have to have this part of you that needs to realize it needs to come alive. And what does that mean, to come alive? Well, your spirit needs to evolve and to grow and to mature, but do you give it a platform to do just that? Because we just assume that we're human and we have to do the next logical step. Thank you so much. Yes, people have been sending me birthday wishes. My birthday is in 2 more days, and this is the last show for the week, and I really appreciate your beautiful sentiments. I got a birthday song this morning, and I think it's awesome, so I'll get my giggles on. And so there's no ennui there. Love will help take care of ennui. And so, what does that mean? What? My iPad is literally being a bully. So I have to wait for it to decide to catch up with me. And maybe I can. So it's not really a bully as much as it's a sloth. We'll see. But, I should have been satisfied with my life. I went into the ego mindset of complaining, getting mad at myself, and denigrating myself. And people don't realize that those are emotional frequencies. If you were to take and put a vibration, music and stuff like this, and you hit certain frequencies, the salt or the liquid would start to take shapes and forms. And that's kind of like what we are. So your frequencies do affect who you are. Now, people don't think twice about that, but you have how you talk to yourself. How do you treat yourself? That's up to you. That's up to you, because if you don't realize and wake up that how you're treating yourself, then you'll never know. And you'll just walk around and go, oh, I'm dissatisfied, or I shouldn't be. That's wrong. It's right and wrong. People are going to talk about me. But you're not just human. You're a spirit first, and you are a human second. But we kind of forgot by the philosophies of science and religion telling us how we're supposed to think and feel. But shouldn't we start to be in charge of what our beliefs are, what our abilities and love is, and to dive into that? And we can individually change the collective. I'm just having really interesting issues over here. So what does that mean? Instead of getting mad, all right, Spirit, we're going to resolve. Meaning that if something's not working correctly, or if there's an uncertainty or things are just not working, do you have to be mad? Do you have to go, it's not going my way? Or, no, these are programs. And we don't realize that 90% of our thoughts that we thought the day before is what's creating this moment. And we're going to be 90% of our thoughts as the day before. So without realizing it, we're going to be thinking those same thoughts. And you got to have a way out, right? So this is where you learn how to be a resolver. And being a resolver makes a big difference in your world. But what if you're just using your human part to resolve your stories? What good is that? Hey, gay. I find it's not, well, it's sort of working. So thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. And all I'm doing is that I'm not turning to my left brain. I'm turning to that part of myself that, am I even on? Because I opened up to the big screen and it's frozen there. I'm a little confused about thank you for the birthday wishes and thank you for the songs. What is going on? I have oh, all right. Hey, Angela, if you give another 50 stars, we're going to put your name in a drawing. So we can start off this. So we got until 11:30 or so. I'll collect stars, 100 stars. We'll get your name in a drawing for a chance to come on here, anywhere between 5 to 8 minutes. And you guys can have it. So we have Amy and Angela. Angela's now in. So we have these two names that are going on the board. So you want these two women to win? That's great. But if you would like to put your name in the ring, go for it. So, and we have a new wheel that we can spin, and it's more accuracy. So that's what I like. So I'm going to refresh this and see. I'm literally frozen on my computer. Oh, thank you so much. Hello, hello. Hey, thank you. Yes, it feels good. I'm going to be 55. Well, as long as I can get the screen, I don't care if I move. I just don't want it to blast and scare the willies out of me. Aw, somebody put an angry face. Stephanie J. Hill. Oh, hopefully if you hit love again, you can change that. So sometimes it's just so darn easy to hit that negative button. So ennui. Let's get back to this. Ennui. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Certain filters work and spirituality certain works. Because as soon as I started putting spirituality in my space, I started to get younger. But I was in an environment that was aging me. And the energy of other people can affect how you're satisfied or not satisfied on a cellular level. We're like birthday twins. So April Lynn is going to be 55 and hers is on the 28th. Now my daughter's is tomorrow. I have two cousins that are like one day before me and one day after me. That was an oops. Well, hit it again and get that love. Let's see if it can take that anger face away. But you say 35, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. But here's the thing. My skin, the water content was not healthy. The environment, your environment that you're in can age you. You've heard of this. Oh, I'll keep my wrinkles. Yeah, it tells me that kind of the life that I went through. But do you realize you don't have to? You can actually begin to change that process. And that's what I'm doing, is that I'm bringing more love. Yeah, I had my spirituality, but I also had to change my environment. It wasn't supporting me. And I was cutting myself up and saying, nope, I can't have this because I've got to have this. And so I went into my fear, the fear stream, which also includes anything that's negative. Anger, resentment, bitterness. And these will age you because they are not there to support you. They drain you of energy. But the ennui, the dissatisfaction, the uncertainty will lock your butt in a temperament, and it is like a prison. But being that said, understand that program is like walking. You watched, you learned, you observed, you responded, and you learned how to walk. You learned how to talk. You learned how to do certain things. And that's a program. You don't want to change those programs, but there's certain programs you can change. And we have been taught that we can't, you know, you go in the corner and sit in timeout and learn to pacify, learn to heal, learn to, well, I don't say heal. They say what? They just like, you know, figure it out, work it out, calm yourself down. Depends on which conscious state that you're in. On the 21st, your mother's birthday. She would have loved me. Aw, thank you. So when it comes to joy, we feel like their paradigm tells us that you can't have it. And I broke my fingers when I turned 50. I was so extremely happy. And my husband began to notice this pattern. When I get extremely happy and I'm active walking, I will hurt myself. I will trip somehow and hurt myself. And I know that when we were kids, if you were happy, it's like, what's up? What are you up to? And so there was always this threat, this violence, this fear, if I got too happy. And so I know it's an old program. So we've been investigating that for a while. And my husband says, well, when we go out on our date for your birthday date, he goes, I might have to put a leash on you just so I don't, I don't want you to hurt yourself. I said, just hold my hand, honey. Just hold my hand and give me some love. Because, sometimes you just need that little anchor. But I'm not in this marriage, my environment, everything. There is no ennui. There is none. There is no dissatisfaction. At any moment that you are human, or you have where your programs are saying you have to take in and take offense or be hurt, I know how a spiritual being can go and go, I don't have to do that. I've gotten to the stage that I am aware, using my awareness. My spirit has awareness. Using my awareness with spirit mindset, I can go, oh, no, time out. We're out of sync, and I'm going to go heal. So when you, sign language is time out. I don't know what it means in sign language, but I just know time out. We're out of sync. Go heal. And we are responsible to either choose to stay in misery and be satisfied with the dissatisfaction because we're creating the chemical peptides that we think we have to identify with, or what? Thor says, it's amazing as I never understood that I can change those parts of me that are less in love. Yes, you can. Again, that paradigm has got to go. I asked, what would you like from a metaphysician? Well, how to handle our issues. I'm like, how about resolving? How about we take and begin to learn? This is all I ever talk about. This is all I ever do. I live it, breathe it, walk it, talk it, and dream it. And I would not bring it to you if I did not exercise it myself. Don't just do as I say and do as I say and not as I do. I need to walk my talk. And I remember when I was younger, it's like I would have that do as I say, not as I do. And I had a habit and I'm like, oh, do as I say, not as I do. And I'm like, ooh, there's an epigenetic program here, meaning epi means on top of my genetic code. And I'm watching how it followed through the timeline. I'm like, but is that true? And it was all about the fact I couldn't resolve. I couldn't resolve because there was an uncertainty that said fear was going to say, I didn't know what to do. So fear was the lens and ego was my lens. And so was ego mindset and survival mindset. I was not involved. So when I started to become spiritual, not religion, but spiritually involved, using awareness as my key and interpreting it on a heart brain coherence, which is love, I started to make healthy intuition. Okay. Authentic spiritual intuition. And when ego takes over, it is unhealthy insights that we call intuition, but it's not quite a coherence. It's a incoherent, and we take conclusions and we say, oh, that is what I saw before. So then we start guessing, and that becomes this unhealthy, wrong intuition. And I don't like to say right or wrong, but it's healthy or unhealthy. So when I started to It's like, how do you take care of a feeling or that mental emotional process? I can't tell you how much this success hope therapy tool has meant to me until I really have been able to replicate it in me all the time. And then I replicated it in others because they've come and they ask me. But when your ego takes over and makes you forget, then you're like, yeah, that don't work. But don't you want to be free of this shit show? Whew, I don't like shit shows. Hi, how are you? And so what is this? This dissatisfaction is part of a program as well. We're told to be dissatisfied. If you're too happy or too satisfied, you're up to something. Or what words did your parents use, or did your society use, or the looks, the gestures they gave you? Was it, oh, I don't trust you. Tell me what your experiences are, because this is how you can give back. If you want readings, if you're new, I'll give you one. How do you give back? Talking into the group gives back. Sharing it out gives back. Sending stars at this point, send 100 stars, and it's an opportunity to get your name into a drawing so that you can get onto the show. So again, right now we have Amy and Angela that is going to be, the wheel will decide which one's going to win the show. So again, if you have 100 stars, go ahead and I'll put your name in a drawing. Now, and hopefully we'll have several of them out throughout the day. You can send as many as you want. And you can say, here's the stars, just, don't want my name on the list. That's fine too. Okay. Oh, okay. So you pay the excellent. And you can have expedites. So that means that Thora also is going to get her name in the drawing so that the first of the month she has an opportunity to win a 30-minute private session with me. So that's awesome. How can we give back? And one of the things that's so important is that when I began to start using my own body to do the healing, and while I'm sitting in my shit shows and I can use my own body, and when I began to become aware that, where did it go? Where'd my shit show go? Do I want it back? No. Oh, but what if it comes back? Well, I already know the tool. So I started to then I started to write it on paper and I started to investigate. And, so then it developed into the Success Hope Therapy tool. Now we have a brand new one that is taking the same information and twisting it and standing on your head and seeing it from another perspective. And it's called a fast aid. And it's Source Point Healing Fast Aid. And it's like, wow, I thought the other one was fast and complete and felt awesome. But this helps me work with my energies. Tracy says, my mother passed away on Valentine's Day, and 2 months later, my father passed away. Oh my gosh. And my dog has to be put to sleep the same day as my mother was awake. It's very hard for me now. I am having seizures. Tracy, I can relate to some degree. Mom and dad passed 13 days later. Just prior to that, my building burned down and I lost everything. So it's like the shock to the system. The first thing that you have to do is take care of shock. Now, I'm going to, Spirit has always felt it was important to talk with people to help them to get out of shock. I'm going to extend an opportunity out for you, Tracy, that if you would like to come on, you don't have to have video, voice only is fine. But if you would like to come on, we can go ahead and do some type of healing and maybe doing a fast aid to help pull you out of shock, help you get some calmness in you so that you can get your head to feel, because what we do is that we get so stressed. We're like, oh my God. And we get so stressed that we can't think of our way out of a paper bag, and we just want things to make sense again. We just want things to go back to the way it is. We just like, our bodies are just like, what? No, God, no, I don't want to go through this shit. But there is something we can do. Our physical body and our innate wisdom knows how to do it. But if we learn to use that communication tool, it makes a heck of a lot of sense. And then you just have to understand how your thoughts work. one of the things with key of awareness is when, as I started to move into the new, I had uncertainty of it. And so I would look back to what was familiar and what was my identity. But that was the hell I knew, because I was taught that the unknown was bad when it's not. Once you learn that it's not, and you learn how to create, then you realize it's not. And you learn how to resolve instead of just cope, handle, deal, and pacify. You'd be amazed with yourself. So as I began to take and listen to my body and communicate and work with my body, the relief. Have any of you gotten relief before? Nobody talks about it. And yet we need to talk about it more. So when you give back, when you talk about it, I know Thor's like telling everybody, oh my God, I was, Amy, they're telling this, I was a shit show. And then I used this tool, and then I used this tool. And it was like, wait, whoa, I'm back to me. The turnaround times are amazing. But really out there are people out there that really, really totally believe. Society and the collective says that you can't affect, you're just an emotional shit show. Take a pill. Oh, go see a psychiatrist. Nothing wrong with seeing a psychiatrist. Nothing wrong with going and get medicine. There are tools in your toolbox. But did you know that you can start to feel some comfort to be able to help heal yourself? I can't tell you how much self-esteem I gained just by healing myself. And the self-esteem and the confidence was like, wait, what? And the point I like to do is to teach you, and even to the point I'm going to be creating this class, and I think it's going to be in September. And what it is, and again, it costs, but it's to learn what I teach. But it's not just about learning how to do it. I'm actually having healing sessions so you can actually see it, feel it, know it from inside out. Crystal says, you have helped me so much at my absolute worst. Oh, Crystal, wonderful. Wonderful. I can feel your joy coming from it. Yes, yes. April Lynn says, yes, relief is amazing. Got triggered and pulled my energy back with minutes. I'm better. See, when you start to get it, she says, anxiety and depression, the whole 9 yards. I am so much. Ooh, my screen jumped. I'm so much. So much. Thank you, Brent. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yes. But again, we're taught that we can't do anything about it. I mean, to do something that's natural, that's so natural, there's no harm in it. There's who you are, and you get to just touch your forehead, and you're like, how can that help? But if you were to add your pulse points and you touch your forehead, how does that? I know how that works because I've been feeling it, using it, and doing it. And my mind and my body are connected, and I have proof. I have all of these things. And I want you to experience. It's all about self-empowerment, helping you. When you heal your shit, benefits show up. What? I didn't know I could just be bold in a good way. Or where's my happiness? Oh, wait a minute. Where did that thing I forgave? I didn't even know I forgave. Holy shit, how cool is that? And it wasn't that you had to go up to them and say, I forgive you, and let them keep trampling on you. No, you're like, your heart's free of all that shit. And the next thing you know, you're like, here's the boundary, dude. I love you. And please go be yourself. And I'll respect that that's who you are, but we don't mesh. Sorry, we're out of sync. Angela says, I'm very thankful for your love and support. You're welcome. So, yep, you're right. I'll do anything. Yes. And when we're in our shit shows, our fears will take over even harder. Okay. But when you are sitting there in your alone time, now, do you know what I mean like that? It's like when there's not another soul in your space and you're like, ooh, I can sit all sprawled and naked. Who cares? Whatever. I'm going to drink whatever I want. Look like whatever I want. And then this ennui sets in. And there's a little bit of dissatisfaction that just happens. And it's a little bit of boredom. You're doing everything you love, and yet you're like, why don't I feel complete? Society tells me that's wrong. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to do that. But did you know that that was your soul saying, get up, evolve, love, grow? And it was like, what do we do? What do we do? See, we want you to begin to understand that when you can hear with those spiritual ears and those spiritual eyes, it is you listening with your true self of who you are. And so I'm looking at Tracy. Okay, so I offered to help her because she's having seizures and she has all this loss and her body's doing all this. And she may not quite understand what I'm talking about. And then she says, I see a psychiatrist, but that doesn't help. I would love to know if they're together. First of all, spiritually speaking, you put the call out. I'm asking, did you hear her? Can you give me an answer? And they go, we're here. They're in that space that we can't describe as very well as humans. But we do put out that we can understand to some degree. Well, I'll tell you, almost every single one of them. So they both, did they pass? Yes. Did you say I heard a dog bark? Did you say it was a dog too? Because I just heard, I heard male, female, and a dog. So I think you did. I don't know. But at the same time, do you know that this tool helps you out? Don't stop seeing your psychiatrist, but you can take care of the emotions. See, when you have a thought and emotion and your thoughts get into, you're thinking so much, the emotions push the thoughts into high beta and your brainwave goes into high beta. And then all of a sudden, how you try to cope, handle, and deal, which is worst case scenarios, or you drive yourself to the point where you can't breathe. What happens is thought and emotions come together and do a little hanky-panky, and they create this sensation, and you memorize it. Oh my God, 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 oh my God. You think, of the 41 thoughts become like 80 thoughts per minute, and you're memorizing. Why? Because you're like, this has got to stop. What part did I miss? Oh God, I didn't miss anything. And your brain is like, what? You over-identified with OMG, and then the body, you get memorized. So your brain, you're creating these thoughts and you're memorizing it. And then your body says, oh, I'm the mind. So now when you finally get yourself calm, oh my God, this is so, then you'll start to feel, and then the thoughts come back. Your thoughts at this point don't come first. It did in the beginning because you need to make the program. And then you have this program that's on a loop, and your thoughts will pop up and you won't even know you're on a hell loop, because after a while, it's so, it's like after a while when you hear a noise and it disappears. The noise disappears. And because your brain goes, that's not important anymore. We memorized it. Okay. We memorized it. And so they are together. They have no more pain. That's the beauty. And the emotional triggers that they would have, they won't have any. You understand? Amy says, you have helped me so much with the tools that you have brought through with Spirit. I love the fact that Spirit has chosen me to be a voice and a representative. And so I feel like I need to really learn how to walk it and talk it. I live it, breathe it, walk it, and dream it. I need to hear how humans work on an amazing level. An amazing level. Now, when you say you want to do anything, again, I've opened it up. So if you'd like to come on, you have to let me know that, yes, I will come onto your show and I will give you a link to Zoom. But again, you don't have to use video. Yes, your mind will race because it's in high beta. I got to catch up to the things. Do animals count as bringing alone? I'm not quite sure what that question is, babe. I'm having seizures because I'm streaming. Yes, you can stop those. Can I have my session first and she may understand more? Yes. Okay, sure. Tracy, yes. Not sure what she meant. Yes, I got to catch up on my thing. Angela says, I had an anxiety attack the other night and Brenda pulled me out of it. Yeah, she was hitting her anxiety attack so hard and so high I had to use a distraction technique just to get part of her brain to go, wait, what the hell? And then she was at the stage where she could actually begin to heal it. So I have to say stupid shit. I said, you got something on your elbow. And she's like, what? And then I'm thinking on the other end, they're probably thinking I'm nuts, but who cares? They changed. Now they can go and take and I just said, here, rub a few points, hold a few of this. And then she did all the work. That was beautiful. Well, are on the episodes, say, okay, if you can. Yes. So she's telling, so Autumn is giving advice. Absolutely, using the healing tools changes the relationship, especially at work. It's been a blessing. Awesome. Manifesting wonderful people to work with. Yes. When you sit there and you start holding the frequency emotionally, and if you turn on your imaginary television set and really see yourself interacting, your brain has no idea between, is it you or somebody else? But if you start to write the script yourself differently, it'll cause people to change and zig and zag. Why? Because you're changing the perception. Why? Because you're changing the belief system. Why? Because you're changing the way you know stuff. Okay. I've had PSTD most of my life and never had a seizure before. Yeah, well, this one tipped you over the edge. Okay, so I'm going to just jump in, and Thor, you are absolutely correct. So, we got Amy too. So excellent. And so what, again, you have the ability to communicate. You have the ability to communicate. So again, we have, I just want to double check. We have 2 people that has put into for the drawing. If anybody else wants to send on the stars, they can put their names in the drawing as well. Otherwise, there's just 2. And then Amy, well, if Amy wins, I'm just playing on top of that. But anyways, if you have Zoom, I can send you the link. So what's going to happen is, Tracy, I want you to be able to see how I'm going to work with Thor and Thor's, oops. Oh, I'll just put it here. I can get to you there. There she is. And when you go, if we've never talked before, then you go to my fan page, and then you go and message me. And that way I got that's how I can connect with you and just give you a link. Okay, so you'll definitely do anything. Okay, excellent. Okay, so here's going to be the example. And like I said, make sure you go to my fan page and message me, and so that I can get a link to you. So if anybody else would like to be in the drawing to win, Linda's in. So we have Amy, Angela, and Linda for the drawing. Excellent. It's cost $24 for 8 minutes, and you're here. You're only paying what is it, $1? It's like 1 cent per star. So for $1 to get in the drawing, I think that is a good deal. But this is a way we can give back, and a way we can get things to move. Spirit says, I have to balance the energies. So here she comes. Let me see if we got, gotta wait for all the audio and stuff. And I bring it out to you because it's an advertisement so that people can understand. I mean, when I learned this, when I didn't have to be emotional shit shows, or that I had to be stressed and in fear, I was in fear all the time. And then I'm not. I feel so much better. I'm just, every day I wake up happy. Every day. And everybody says, well, how do you get there? You start healing out the shit, and your energy returns, and your body, then that energy supports your body, and it supports your life, and your inner world creates your outer world. And when I healed my inner world hell, my outer world was gorgeous. There we go. One more button, darling. One more button. There. Oh, yeah. Hello, honey. How are you?
I am good. I just wanted to come on and after I talk, if there's anything to take this line on my leg, I had the last my last procedure today, so
okay.
I'm a little hot and swollen and tight. So, but before you do that, I wanted to just say that happy birthday. And
Thank
I
you.
love you.
Oh, I love you
And
too.
I just wanted to say a few things, and I had to bullet point them so I don't get sidetracked.
Okay.
Very easily. Okay. So I wanted to just say thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
love you.
I love you
And
too.
this is for the people that I'll bullet point. You helped me find trauma I never even knew I had. Most of the time, I can't find it. You have to dig, and I can't remember. You see it, we heal it, and it's just, it is great. So,
So
bullet point number
hold on.
two.
So you get a turnaround time from the traumas we release.
You can't talk. I
Oh,
have to go through it,
okay.
and then you can say anything you
Okay.
want. Okay, because it's a long list. I want to say that you've taught me an invaluable, simple, easy, quick, successful tools that I use because I used to say that I want it done yesterday. And you've helped me find that. I've looked through Badly Nelson, I've looked through Donna Eden, I've looked through, bunch of stuff, and I love your techniques. And I am teaching my students how to do that as well. Every day. You taught me how to be present and aware, and I was way off. You're saying be aware, and I'm like way over here, and I'm not, and I wasn't very present, and I still need more help, but we're working on it. Okay. I want to tell you that I love you because you're caring, you're kind, you're very articulate. I watch some people and they're a little more woo woo. You're gonna hit that type of person that is smart enough to, but we're open, smart but open. Okay, because you know your woo woo stuff. And you helped me just last night or the night before I get out of my, was it my left brain or my right brain?
Left brain. You were in your left.
Okay. And you taught me so much. I've had should have been triggers. All the work I've been having with you. If nobody can afford to have a session with you or if they just can't do it right now, take advantage of your 1 minute. You do it twice a week. You can heal yourself. I know a gal, she hasn't come on and said, but she was supposed to have a liver transplant. And I talked to her just 2 days ago. I said, are you still not having to have a liver transplant anymore? And she said, yeah. And it's because she's been healing with you because she's needing it. And so it's awesome. I love that. I was supposed to be triggered when the police department had a meeting with me about me trying to help the city. Basically, they showed up an hour and 10 minutes late and apologized profusely, listened to me and said, can't help you, can't do it, keep doing it, and it's under responsibility, which it can be. Anyway, so then I go to the city council meeting. That should have triggered me. I waited an hour and 10 minutes. That right there should tell you something. Although I was on the phone with Connie for a while, so that was okay. I went to the city council meeting. The mayor came down to me personally before it ever started to tell me that he could not promote my business. And I just had to laugh at it. And I said, I'm not here to promote my business. I'm here to find out what you're going to do about all these misunderstood grumpy dogs. Okay. And then he always goes from left to right. He's done the last two meetings and he says it. And he purposely skipped over me. And well, it's recorded now that I stood up and said, excuse me, I want to talk. Okay. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, whatever. I should have been intimidated. And we worked on stuff that still was there that I didn't know, thought I was doing good. That's why I keep having sessions with you, even though I think I'm doing great. And you put me back on my feet. And the major healing we had the other day was great. So, had a conversation with my dad the other day. A while back, a couple months ago, he got mad and hung up on me. And my attitude was like, you know what? You don't treat me like that. But now, the other day, he called me an asshole and hung up on me. He gets all worked up, he's Italian. And it's still, he hung up and it's still in my ear, because I was doing other stuff. And I was just like, I looked at it and I went, that so had no emotion. I had no emotion, not in a bad way, in a good way where I had no emotion. I wasn't like, don't call me back. I deserve better. I was like, God, that man has a lot of in him. And I was like, I feel for him, but not too much. I mean, you know what I mean? It was just no emotion. I was like, and at 16 years old was the first time I hung up on that man because he told me, well, the world doesn't revolve around you. And I took time off work when my truck stopped on the way out of town and I couldn't get to him at the time that I told him. And I hung up on him because I had this knowing and this defiance that I will not let you put me down and make me feel bad because of your stupid thoughts, reasoning. And now that set me on my path, but now I'm to the point where I'm saying, okay, that's okay. That made me who I am and took me to where I was or I needed to be. And damn, it feels good. Okay, I should be about done here. Okay. I got a letter in the mail. Oh gosh, you guys, I used to have inner anxiety so bad. You guys never saw it, but I did it. I felt it. I had it under control. I have 2 degrees, living with my family. I'm got my own business. I'm doing pretty good. No, I remember Brenda a long time ago. You told me, I'm doing good. You're all, no, honey, you're not doing so good. I was like, shit. So that is getting better all the time. Opened up the letter yesterday, and they are going to try to indict me again for the charges for the dog attacking the other 2 dogs, and he got hurt. And I opened that letter and I read it. I was not shaking. I didn't have the inner tremors. I opened it up and I went, well, shit. Here we go again. And now today I was thinking, let's go for it. I'm going to the indictment hearing, which all lawyers tell you do not go. They can indict a ham sandwich. And I'm going to get up on that stand and I'm going to tell them who I am, what I've been doing all these years. And if they're going to indict me, if they really think that I did this out of malice or whatever, to do that, because even if I'm convicted, I'll never go to jail because I will kill myself and you guys don't flip out. But the thing is, if I get indicted or not indicted, if I get found guilty, I can never have any of my own animals myself. That's my life. My kids, my 4-legged kids, that's my life. But I know it's not going to happen because I'm going to go there and I'm going to say that and I'm going to be open. I'm going to be honest with them. And guess what? Nothing's going to happen. And I'm so ready to take on Las Cruces and everybody. I got in with the Animal Service Center. They want me to come do, not necessarily right now, but come start helping educate them. I couldn't do this if it wasn't for you. So all the shit show, all the, I don't even like that word, all the stuff that you've had to endure and the pain and the suffering for all these years with that stupid man. And I'm just, thank you.
Aww.
Because it wouldn't have made you who you are, and I would not be here in this place where I'm at, and I'm just growing, and you guys, you can have heaven on earth because your perception changes, you're positive about everything, and right now, this time and age, we can manifest our own life, and I'm excited to manifest my future. And one other thing, a gentleman asked me about what's going on. I told him all this, and he goes, well, that's a lot of drama, and maybe you should move. And I said, move? Hell no. This is a ride that I'm ready to take everybody on because in the end, the dogs are going to be happier and the people are going to be happier. And it's all because of you. Happy birthday. I love you.
Oh, thank you. I love you too. Wow. Yes.
If you want questions, you can ask questions now. You're permitted.
So here's the beautiful part is that you witnessed. You didn't just witness to help let everybody else know, but you witnessed because there's a part of you that knows you're ready to just love more. Okay.
I'm so excited. And I'm not scared. And that is the coolest part. That we don't have to be afraid of the what ifs and
exactly.
And have that somebody say something. You know, I used to say that. Well, when somebody cuts you out, well, you didn't say this, but this is your thinking. If somebody cuts you off and you get pissed off, you son of a bitch, we got the problem. And when you first said that, I went, no, that can't be right. I'm like, no. And then over the time, I'm like, shit, she's right. Oh, and I used to think, am I going to have to do this for the rest of my life? Because I got pissed because I fed the dog the wrong thing. And I'm cussing myself out. And I'm going like this. God damn it, April. What the? And I got my hand on my head at the same time, almost immediately. And I used to dread thinking, I'm going to have to do this for the rest of my life. And I'm like, hey, it's easy. It's easy. And it gets rid of your trauma and you don't have to live in your hell. So everything you teach is awesome.
Oh,
And
thank you. See,
thank you.
this is beautiful. This is beautiful because when more people are really at that stage of, I have to live this the rest of my life, I have bumped into people. I have said it, but I'm
I
going
didn't
to.
know.
And when you do this, and when you actually learn that the body already knows how to heal, that part of you, that dread, that sensation, that ugh, and when you start to release that, you're like, no, I don't have to. You don't even catch yourself saying it anymore because you're like, oh, I can change that. Hashtag, I can heal that. Oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
And when you first are like, well, feel it. What are you talking about? And I said, yeah, hashtag, you got to put your hand up there, feel it to heal it. And you're like, well, I'm fine. Everything's great. And then when I said, well, how about this? And you're like, oh, shit. Ah! You're like, ah. But you're like, I don't remember my childhood. I don't remember nothing. I'm like, well, do you remember the feeling and how you know it? And then you're like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can see the pattern. And that is part of awakening. That is beautiful. That's part of the awakening. So I'm going to ask Spirit, what can we do? And I thank you so much for this beauty that you've given me. And it's like, well, what can we do for her? She's doing good. Why would she need to heal? And I'm going to say, okay, with this indictment, what can we heal so that she can keep her animals forever? And notice that there's this fight that you're going to have to behave the way they tell you. And I feel like this indictment is like mom and dad.
They're trying to, yeah. I'm not sure who started it, but I've been going to city council meetings for the last 3 months.
Right.
So I think they might have.
Right. But I'm saying, look at the similarities. How do you know this is based on how you know it in the past. And so when I look at this indictment, it has a lot to do with that fear that was put into you and accused, fear and accused. And I look back and they said that, I said, so this indictment, what part of your history is repeating itself? Your 6-year-old self. And you've got to constantly have this invading energy from the outside. And, oh, they're sneaking in on what I'm doing. And then they're all mad at me. And they're always this. And if I look even further, it is, I'm going to have to behave a certain way. So if they're like when your dad called and called you an asshole and all this, and you would have gone, what the? Instead, you're like, you didn't behave the way, you're like, oh, hey, actually, that feels good. I don't have to behave the way that he pushes the button. Wait a minute, where'd the button go? This is nice. So she's rechanging her inner world so the outer world comes in favor for her. So I'm looking, is there anything else that we can help her with so that she can have, in favor to win things? They said there is emotionally repressed. And I'm looking at.
I thought I was good.
See? there is this timid. There's this timid and shy part of you. And seeing she's
okay.
What's that?
Don't tell anybody. You got a reputation to uphold.
Exactly. But that shy and timid of when she was 6 years old, she turned it around and because she learned it was that she had to take it and make it lofty. Okay. But really what she has to heal is how shy and timid she is, because she has to put that mask on of being lofty. And that cycle causes her to have this loop. So we're going to say that how you're going to heal that one out is we're going to have you do R1S.
I do remember when I was younger, I was really, really shy. And then I went from being shy to almost obnoxious, where it was like, I'm like, well, why be shy? Because if they say no, I mean, who really cares? I mean, who was it going to affect? So, but I covered it up. So
yeah, so you made a shadow. You made a shadow, and your inner child had to suffer. So when you're healing with this, you're healing not just you at that age, but you're going back and you're healing the shadow, and you're healing your inner child. So you're doing more than just having them to do them separately. You're starting to do it all at once. So I'm looking at what's called an upside down topsy-turvy day, which ends up being what you call the dark night of the soul. But it doesn't one night, it's night after night after night. So I'm looking at this and I'm asking what a particular emotions. And they told me, well, they want you to understand that you were startled. Okay. So you opened up how we see it as an adult right now, because it is from the past as she picked up her mail. Oh, so she's kind of startled. She opens it again and it startled her. So little things will startle her. Okay, she poured the wrong food. Oh, it startled her. So she keeps repeating this fractal from the past. And they told me to explain just a little bit more about what this is. So what they did was they took these glasses and gave them to people, and they would put them on, and the world that was upside right would flip upside down. And they were told to wear these glasses for, so on the third day of wearing these glasses, everything flipped upside right. Cool, right? Then they took the glasses away. Oh, the shock was the world was upside down. And then it takes usually 3 days for the brain to go through and then flip it upside right. Okay. How do you trust a brain that doesn't even know what reality is? And what happens though is like when you're investigating something and you're like, that's what it is. And then you go to investigate and then you're like, oh, I'm so pissed. And then it just confusion and all of this. And your whole world will be topsy-turvy. But if you can get a handle on that topsy-turvy, then your brain can adjust itself according to your new beliefs, to a new perspective. And you can actually stop yourself from having to go through such an anxiety as the brain does something that is natural. Okay, we just want life to make sense again. Can we just go back to the way it was? You can't, because you're evolving. It's more of a whisper, and a lot of you get bitch slaps. So you are going to make sure that you work on the fact that you were startled. It's like part of her strategy. This is my life. To get to happiness, I have to be startled. I've got to go into, oh my God. And I have to go into timid and shy. And then I have to do this. And then I have to have fight. I've got to put this mask on. And then I've got to put this inner child in the suffering. And I got to hide it because I'm an adult. And I've got to... And then at the end, well, how about if we take some of this shit out? So the strategy is more about love.
That would be awesome. And it is awesome. I'm so happy that I found you.
Thank you. So you're going to be doing R2S. So right wrist, second position, nice and soft. Okay. And that is all about being startled. And anytime you happen to, you have to recognize when you're startled, because you're so used to it, you don't realize it. But the startle's also connected to a shock. And I'm asking, is there anything like can we take for it? And they go, no, you've already cleared because of all the past healings we've done together. And I said, okay. So then they want you to make sure you do R1S. And this one is about feeling timid and shy, but you got to first talk to that part of yourself. How do you know what timid and shy is? Let that little girl come up and go, oh. And if you're not sure, you just ask and Spirit will show you. You say, thank you, Spirit, for showing me with grace and ease. And all of a sudden, you'll be watching something, or it'll show up when you're communicating. And all of a sudden you have the awareness and you're going, oh, that's it. How do I know that? Yeah, that thing is a mofo. Yeah, I'm going to take care of that. And you literally sit in that position until it's resolved. You measure it to 10, get it down to 0. So I love watching. I mean, she's like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, let's heal this right here because we want the tomorrows to be better. Yeah, and I knew. And as soon as you left, you're like, oh. And so this is where I tell you, usually you got 24 to 48 hours. And if we do really whoppers, it's up to 72 hours that the universe is recalibrating everything into your favor because you took out this chunk of hell. As it recalibrates, you got to decide if you allow yourself to see the goodness. And so she's, instead of always in this dread, well, she's got good things happening. And I could tell by the morning, she was like happy little, woo! I'm like, oh, I don't know. Did she get some good favor? Or is it just love pouring through? Did she get good? Did she get?
It was overall just optimistic, ready for the world. They want to do certain things, and I'm like, good, guess what? Bad publicity is still publicity. So
true.
I'm going to be famous.
So no matter where, and I just want to address this for all that are listening, no matter where you are, it doesn't matter. You can keep healing to the 11th hour and shit will change. And I'm not making this up because as I do this with my loved ones and my family and my friends and my business, it'll be chaos or peace. Now, when chaos comes, there's a part of me that doesn't have inner peace. So I have to see the chaos. I don't have to accept it. As I begin to heal out this thing that could take over and wash over me and cause me to be swallow me up and throw me in the abyss, I'm like, oh, okay, I will begin to heal it. And as I begin to heal this, and at the same time, my perceptions begin to change my reality. Because what creates reality? Perceptions.
Well, and that's that emotion that, like, that's PTSD, and that's where you cannot think. So you have to get them before they go in there, and that's what you're teaching us.
Yes.
So I, right away, my hands on my head. Now I'm gonna use the correct ones, but I'm already recognizing it, and oh my God, it just feels so good not to be.
It is. The turnaround times. I've gotten to the point now, as soon as I see the chaos, I'm like, ooh, time out. I'm out of sync, and I need to go heal this shit. And so literally, I will go, and my brain already has pictures. If I'm too stressed, I'll hear, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to do this. So I will take and pull myself out, and no matter how much chaos, and as soon as I change the pictures and the feeling inside of me, and I'll wait, and I can hear it. And the next thing you know, I don't even have to go out and change. I will literally watch how everything will come to me and say, hey, it's over with. Oh my God, I only went through that in 5 minutes. Good on me. The turnaround time. Yay. So it can go faster and faster.
Well, and because that was like with my dad. I mean, normally I would be hurt, and I'm like, and I don't have to be hurt anymore. And I was such an emotional person. I was an emotional sponge, and I did not hear you guys because the emotion was hitting me so hard.
Exactly.
I couldn't, and now I can't, and it doesn't bother me. This is so cool. I'm not stopping.
Right now, I just want to address this. So she said, she goes, I can't live without my dogs. Okay, but what if she had to have an experience? Because we lose our dogs through death, and we lose these dogs, and
I would have to heal that out, but I don't know if I want to because I love my animals. Well, I guess I can heal it out.
You can heal out pain. You can heal out the pain because the wisdom is what you want. So, yeah, like I said, even in the 11th hour, let's say she got indicted, cancel, clear, delete. We still can heal that shit, because what if she was supposed to experience that authority issue? And as soon as she heals it, somebody comes in. This is the part that you guys have to really learn, is that even if it's bad, spirit will make something show up in your favor if you are training yourself to heal and to resolve.
That's what the Bible says. All things work for good for those who believe in the Lord.
Yeah.
I believe in God, and I believe that's what we're doing.
I've seen the worst stuff that was going to happen. It looked like the conclusion. And then all of a sudden, something would swoop in, and you're like, wait, what? Whoa, thank you. So you learn how to listen. It was a pleasure talking to you, and thank you for such that beautiful, heartfelt message. I love you deeply. I'm so proud of you. All right, bye-bye, honey. Oh, that was wonderful. You guys are wonderful. Yeah, no dread in the head. Absolutely, kick that out. Just kick to the curb. I love all of you. Look at that, Thor. Rita, you got the badass love. So yeah, yeah. See, you guys are going to have this. You're going to have this beauty to be able to do this. Now, I'm going to see, and hopefully we have that connection that we're looking for. I drank too much coffee. And that's my problem, is I had a little bit too much coffee. Okay, so I don't see the message from, is she even here anymore? Tracy? Can we put the link into, if we have, great, but if you can send her, put the link of my page so that she can go in. There's no way for me to connect with her to give her the link. So if you're still here, let me know. And it is basically Facebook Medicine Woman Solution. That's SOULTION. Just turn the U and the L around. And then come and write me and message me and say, I'm here. And then I can give you the link. So for the rest of you, if you could just be patient and understand that you don't have to just wait for my shows. And I will be probably taking a few weeks off in August, but you can always join Tribal, and it's a good price for what you guys get. And I love to give, and Spirit loves to give. It makes a big difference. Where's that button there? And so give me a few seconds. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, I tell my students to always put your giggles on. And here's the thing, I'm going to tell you another giggle, but you got to do it correctly. So the story was the concentration camps. They would take and have water, and it would drip, and it would be a consistent drip right here. And what would happen was it would drive you crazy. Why? Because this drip would hit your nervous system. But when you have your giggles, when you have joy, begin to tap the giggles in. Begin to tap the love and the joy in. And when you do that, now here's the thing. Once your mind drifts and go, stop tapping. You have to become aware of that. Because when I started to tap joy in, it'd be like, oh, yeah, I guess that's a little... No, wait until you get your giggles. You hear a baby laugh, or, the person you love does something really cute, and you're like, oh, my God, that's so cute. Or, oh, who farted? Ah, it's your fart jokes. But tapping in joy, you can even take and roll it in. I put joy, I put love into my body. You can do a lot of things. Okay, I'm going to go check to see. I do not see her. She did not answer. So I'm going to assume that she didn't stick around. I've got no other messages for it. So, okay, we send her love and respect. So just send it out, and may that she able to feel that support. Okay. Now I'm going to take the winner. I'm going to got to grab it first. How do I open it? Oh, there it is. And yes, so we only had 3 people that put their money in, and we're going to, do I make it smaller? Yeah, there we go. Now we got 3 people that took and gave 100 stars, so they could put their name into the drawing for get a chance to come in the show with me. And that was Angela, Linda, and Amy. Now I'm going to take and we click this button. And what are we going to have? It looks like, oh my God, it's hilarious. Hold on. Angela's won, but there's such a delay. Oh, Nita, you'll be in the next round. Okay, Nita will be in the next round. So we're going to make sure Judy put it down, Nita, for the next round. And so, Angela, you have won. And we're going to stop the process. Everybody like that new wheel? I do. Compliments from Amy for digging that up. So that was like, she, when I have things expressing my needs, or I have people answer, like, I don't understand this thing about my bra. I mean, yeah, I said a few months back, I said, geez, I go to a special bra shop and they don't even have my cup size. And I had to take with what I could get, because I wasn't going to, because the elastic band is the important part. Because I could go to Kmart. We do have a Kmart in Australia. I could go to Big W. But I didn't like how the elastic band just doesn't good, right? And so anyway, in the middle of the show, my bra breaks. I'm like, And so then somebody's been asking, well, what's your bra size? What's your bra size? I want to send you a bra. And I'm thinking, no, I can't do that. And then they went to send me a gift, and it wasn't a bra. It was something completely different. And the funny part was what showed up were bras, and were a little too small. And I said, what are you trying to tell me, Spirit? So I just think it's hilarious when Spirit, you know, you keep hearing this message and nobody's really involved, but Spirit has everybody involved. It's just weird. And so I will tell you, yes, just because people have been bugging me, and I'm like, okay, I wasn't going to do it until several people said, do you know Amazon has a wish list? And I'm like, oh, yeah. Spirit said, don't be gun shy from what happened before. That was lessons and things like this. And so I said, okay, I'll receive. Now, I don't give names out now, but I do receive because there's people that love to give, and I can't stop that process because it is joy that they get. And so I've learned that, okay, when I get a package, I'll just open it up on camera, record it, and as soon as I find out who said it, I send them my response so that they can, don't really miss out. I want them to have that same enjoyment that I get, that they get. So I don't know why Spirit had me do that. Well, because I was waiting. That's right. Waiting for what? I have no idea. I gotta go find her though. La la la. All right, so where is she? There she is. Okay. There. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So Angela Stokes is one. We always love that. Oh, Linda's name and Amy's name. So I got Nita, Amy, Linda. Okay. So we'll play that for a while. It's at 12:30. So again, if you want to, you can go ahead and, show me that you want it. So we're learning how to do energy exchange, because I've been giving myself way too much, and Spirit says, you gotta give them away to, I'm like, oh, okay. I don't want to do karma. So hello, my dear. How are you? Oops, got to make sure the volume is good. I don't see that. So we have to wait a second until get her volume. Sometimes I can't hear you either. She has not no volume. You got nothing. I'm going to see if she can see this. Go back out. Try that. Hopefully she'll see that. I'll just remove her. That's what I'll do. I will remove her and see if that works. Okay, hopefully that'll work. Sometimes that happens. It is fun to see the joy in Brenda's face when she opens the gifts. Yes, because I learned a long time ago, when my mother or my father and everybody would tell me, no, you can't receive gifts. You got to give them back. And I remember being a little girl, and my stepfather was taking me out, and this guy, one of his friends, we called him Hutch. And he's like, oh, I want to buy you a gift. And I'm like, I was told, no, you can't. And then we get down to the shop, and, and I'm looking up, and I'm like, oh God, I really wanted that little cute watch. And no, I can't. And I had this paradigm drilled into me. And, well, what does your sister want then? And so I point to the watch, and my sister got the watch. And I just took a candy bar and a comic book. And then it's like I would have these things that would sit there, and the kind of like would keep coming up with like a haunting. And then finally I started, ooh, yay, we have Nikki. And I started to realize that I was ashamed, embarrassed when somebody'd say, oh, you're a pretty little girl. I'm like, oh, my shy and timid. Here's your present. Oh, I didn't want to do that. It just was, there's the audio coming. One more button, babe. And so I had a long ways to heal. So hi, darling. How are you? Glad to see you. Thank you. Today was like red day.
Yeah, I mean, it looks nice. I'll look at hair when you have it.
Oh, thank you.
Now today, I was out front with Molly walking, and I was talking to DJ, And I said, if you're here with me, because there was a dragonfly, I said, can you get that dragonfly to come in on me? Well, it flew on, but probably about 30 minutes to an hour later, I was next door to an outside, and a dragonfly came and landed on my elbow. I'm stayed. I'm like, oh my God.
I love that. I love that.
Oh, I love it. I got chills right now. So it's just awesome that that's how he, communicates with me now.
Can you pick up your pup? Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna shut up.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, little bub. Hello. Mommy, you wanted mama's attention. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, he is a mess. But I'm gonna let you take over it and
Okay. Okay. All right. So one of the things is that all right. So there's a panic. And we're going to address this a little bit further. And with the panic is action. Now I'm going to ask, is the panic yours? Actually, no. Interestingly enough. So she has panic. She hasn't resolved it out. Now I'm going to ask you, the people that are in your space, do any of these people, male or female, do they panic when they don't get their way or they don't see things done on a time schedule? Do they panic?
no.
Okay.
No.
So let me explain how easy a panic can be.
Okay.
So they'll start demanding. Let's say, like I used to take care of people and they would look at the clock and they can't do it themselves, but they would look at the clock and then they would expect that I get it done right when they think it is supposed to be done. And if I like 30 seconds late or more, then they'll panic. They'll show me by their tone or they'll show me. So do you have any of that happening? Really? You mean I'm asking spirit and they go, no, you watch these people. Okay. So energetically, so you're saying that the person you take care with is just always happy. Okay. That energy of how you know is when that energy, whatever it is, hits you, it turns your panic on. But they have panic as well. They don't maybe show gestures or they don't say it out loud, but the energy of their thoughts emanates off of them. And we even have a machines that can read that. Okay. But we do it automatically with our bodies. So now you understand that the way your body keeps getting. So your body acts like a suspicious. Well, I know they're going to act that way. So in your mind, you have a picture of how they're going to act, even before you walk in and they start acting that way. Now, this is where I've got to really get people to understand what I'm saying. People say, well, can I just heal them out? Can I just heal them? Can I just heal them? No, you can't because of permissions, but you can heal them that you put in your mind. So you're going to take and how you're so annoyed or how your body goes into the panic stage, you're going to heal him out of this. You're going to heal out those particular moments of people out of this. So for instance, because they have an energy that causes you to feel unstable. It's like it feels always like an earthquake. So that's what you're going to focus on. You're going to focus on how you feel unstable, how that energy, how you know. But I want you to picture them, and you're going to sit in a position, and this is a position you're going to do. You're going to grab the right wrist, third position, and you're going to put your thumb nice and soft. So R3S. And as she sits there, she's going to, step one, the picture is, I know as soon as I go into the next room or do this, I know they're going to show up this way. So then she's going to pop them in her head and she's going to sit there and go, she can hear them, gestures, everything. And that's what she's going to measure is that. Okay. And now in this case, it's not working on her. It's working on the picture of the person in her head. Okay. So this is how the energy kind of folds back on itself, but she can take right there and begin to heal it out. You can do that with any stage because I feel like there's different little times that it'll bother you more. Like, I don't know how much you have to take care of this person, but when they get an attitude or a temperament or a misbehaving or they, So specific events, whether it's eating, showering, whatever, you know, ooh, there's an anticipation and a dread. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes, yes.
So what happens now when she goes in there and she's holding R3S, she's going to sit there and she's going to go, oh my God, yeah, it's right there. And again, you can see different pictures because she's like, her body anticipates before she goes into it. And she's going to measure it. And she's going to sit there. And whatever her brain does next, she's just going to stay in that position because the hell loop will start to, and then the body will begin to heal that hell loop. She's got to get it down to 0. Is there anything else you would like her to address? So she's going to learn how to self-soothe those panic buttons inside of her and self-regulate. But she's doing it by noticing how she can predict how he's going to behave. Okay. So like if she'll sit there and have, and like, I feel like they can tell when you're thinking about your son. Okay. Then they begin to worry, or it becomes a chain reaction. And some of the words have not been nice because it kind of put you in a startle and a shock. They may not be aware they said what they said, or they did, but they don't know how much that affected you. And so I'm asking, do we work on the shock? They go, work on the fact you can't get those words out of your ears, out of your head. Okay. So I said, how do you want her to get it out? And noticing what they say, so you'll behave. It's interesting how they do it. So again, take that. And you're going to take and do right wrist first position. So R1S. Okay. Because those thoughts, like she'll be fine. She'll go to a friend's house. She'll do this and that. They don't really come up. The 41 thoughts about it don't come up. Every now and then they will. But the moment she gets closer to this person or gets stuck in the house, it becomes a loop. And then when the body starts to feel and create a feeling about the emotion, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. And all of a sudden, whether she thinks about her son or she thinks about the situation, the body will bring up the emotion or it'll bring up the thought loop. And then the thought loop will sit there and her 41 thoughts are about this. So now she's focusing on the thought, which then causes her in high beta and can shove her farther. Okay. Yep. So we need to help her on the inside to self-regulate and self-soothe. And so you got 2 positions that's going to help you just do that. Now you may have to use them several times because like when you heard what he said and you're holding that, I feel like you're going to go through the intensity of how it was said or the sound of how deep or how high it was said. So I mean, you got it really stuck in you. So you're going to eat, well, no matter what comes up, you focus on it till it's 0. And if it comes up again, and how you know is because you start paying attention. Oh, there it is. Don't say it didn't work. Say, oh, there it is. But it actually feels different because if you can measure right when you notice it and not go, oh, and go there and then run with it, because it'll sound the same. And then you're building it back up and creating a new. I want you to kind of catch it and go, oh, how do I know that it's the same? But is there a slight difference? So this is how you're going to start building that relationship with you and spirit. There is a slight difference. And the spirit will, oh, okay, good. Okay, go heal that out. And then let's take the next one. And so you start to pass your test because you're starting to take out the different levels of intensity, the charges on it. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Excellent. Now, I'm glad to see that you're better. Okay. And just remember, if you can pull in that energy, you stop yourself from going there. And I notice it's easy to go there because it doesn't help when you have that environment. But hopefully, and thank you, Spirit, that what you're going to do today, and the more diligent you are at doing it, you'll then actually stop that energy communication. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Happy healing, darling. All right, bye. And see, wasn't that worth 100 stars? That's beautiful. That's beautiful. All righty. Let me just double check. And we have an expedite. So Amy, if you want to go last or now, you can. You let me know. I know you like how you like things preferred. And Nikki. Okay, so Nikki, happy birthday. Is that to come on or is that a birthday gift? I'm a little confused on that, but let me know, because it says happy birthday, but at the same time, let me know. So, because expedites get to jump before. Now, if you're new in the room, I would love to be able to give you a reading. Now, if I haven't given you a reading before, then you're new to me. Christina says, I've been on before. I have my niece, Millie, and she's 14, and she has a lot of new illnesses. She has been diagnosed with Lyme, mast cell, oh my God, cat scratch fever. Oh, whoa. Which I have, and it runs in the family. She would love a reading to help her with anxiety, mood, and disorder. Okay, so I got to ask, because 1, she's underage. 2, she's not asking for herself. I'm assuming Katrina is the caretaker or the mother. And so this is where I've got to make sure that, so as I'm looking at it, we can look at this question in different ways. 1, why is the illness there? 2, can I give you a healing tool that starts breaking this up so the body starts to repair itself? And this is a chronic thing from what I can see. So that means there has a foothold. It's a birthday gift. Oh, Nikki, thank you so much. Oh my God. Okay, so you're the aunt. Okay, I'm going to trust that. I'm asking Spirit, and it said, Spirit says, yes, I can. Because okay, so Christina, your name will go into the drawing of bringing a friend, and as well as we're going to give her 3 minutes. Now she wanted me to write for her. Okay, she's right next to me. Okay, so when we look at this, I'm asking, what do you want? And Spirit says, I want her to understand that shyness and timid runs. Mia. Is that Mia? Mia? And with that timid a lot, did you have problems with people, oh, I don't like the fact you're so timid. I feel like there's energy on the outside that don't like your behavior. And there is, because of this particular emotions and temperament that you have, you can feel some disapproval. I need to know whether this is true or not, because yes. Okay. So what I'm hearing is that because of this energy field, you have a tendency to have to live the way they expect you to live. Now, the epigenetics on this says that there's a strong longing to be happy, longing to be you, longing for the shitstorm to stop, longing for how they disapprove to go away. Does this make sense? A longing. Oh, I don't want to endure it, because that's what I'm hearing. Now, as I look about because we can take this thing with Lyme and all of that, and they said it's a conditioned process, that there's the action because the invading energies of other people and their disapproval, the body does a restriction. Does this make sense? It's true. Now, what happens is that the fear of the longing and the fear that happens creates false realities. And the body is trying to figure out how to survive when other people's strong energies are going on around you. So your environment is dictating to your DNA of how it has to behave. A belief system that is passed on, or a belief system that, it's wrong to be timid, any of this is going to influence the way the body reacts. And I'm asking Spirit, what would be the best way for her to heal? Is because she doesn't feel, doing the good growth system. Yeah. And the thing is she says, I just don't feel secure, and I'm always constantly feeling unworthy. Does that make sense to you? Because we got different routes to take. See, it's a deep conditioning. I get it. So a conditioning is when, like with Pavlov's dog, when the bell rings, your body will go right into the behavior. Just like the dog goes, oh, hey, I smell steak. Therefore, sliving. Oh, hey, it's the time of the day. The body says, hey, it's time to eat. And so it's just a program. Exactly. So there's so many different ways here. They're like, first of all, from this angle, there's the fear of being bold because of how they're going to come at her. Oh, my whole body says, we like that one. We want to heal that one. Oh, so, okay, get those words correctly. Yeah. Is it true? Can you feel that? Can you feel that? I want to be bold. I wish I could say something. I wish this longing shit would be over. I just wish I could be me. And because it's been passed down, you can actually heal it too if it makes sense to you. So knowing how you know it, understanding the emotional chemical peptides that says this is how the body's supposed to run, and understanding the thought processes, you can take, and they said the one thing they want you to do and hold, because there's such a suppressed, you have to suppress your feelings, and then you start to feel petrified, is that you're going to take your right wrist and you're going to fall down to the third position. And then you're going to put your thumb in that third position, nice and soft, and you create the letter C. You put the palm of your hand on top of your forehead and let your fingers drop. I need you to measure. Oh my God, that's how I know. And I need you to really focus on the emotions and the thoughts. And then you make sure, again, we want you to go right wrist. And then if you can see it, third position, thumb soft. Okay. And you sit there. Don't take that hand down. I need you to take and help the body. And the innate intelligence will begin to help you begin to heal on that level. And you can start taking down that fear out of the body. Now, there's many more healings that can be done, but this can be the first step. And how you know is because it's a 10. Oh my God, I can feel it. And you stay there, and what will happen is your thoughts will get clearer. Your emotions will drop. Get it gone. Don't go, oh, I still feel a little left. Then put your hand back up. Put your hand back up. Stay there. You can do this. Thank you, Spirit, for the reading. Okay. So so Amy says, whenever I do the wheel. Okay, so who do we have for the wheel? And we have Nita, Amy, Linda, Nikki, anybody else? Let me see. I'm going to see where we're at. Here we go. Ooh, interesting colors. Okay. All right, here we go. We're going to see who wins this time. Get to the right screen, pop it up, and here we go. No problem. You're welcome. And thank you, Spirit. Please take care of both of you with grace and ease. Okay. And great love. Okay, everybody, here's the wheel. And you can hear it clap too. Nikki! Isn't that cool? I like that wheel too. I mean, because that first one was like, it just keeps repeating. But this one, it stops, it gives you the name, and cheers you on. Super cute wheel. You like it too? I love it. Thank you for your approval of that as well. And I'm so thankful that Amy was like, okay, I'm on the journey of finding a wheel. I didn't even know you could, but now I'm like, yeah, I can so use it on my website. So Nikki, I'm going to send you the link, babe. Hopefully you're ready. Oh, that's not right. There we go. Here, there you go. Here we go. Now, again, don't stop yourself. If you really want a deeper reading and you're like, well, why should I? It doesn't matter. However you want to do it, how you want to give back, how you want to donate, how you want to, because Thor, she's like, no, I don't really need to play the wheel. I'm just going to do this. And you can do both. It don't matter how many times you make it on. Oh, I'll donate to Linda. Oh my God, we got to pay it forward. I'm lacking behind on that. So I'm going to have to ask Judy to remind me to do that on my website. So, that's not even the right screen. Hello. where do we go? What is this? How did iTunes jump up on my screen? Close. Close. Okay, hold on. I've lost my screen. Oh, here we go. So I'm going to give it to Linda. There she is. Okay. Go down and give that to Linda. Linda, do you want it? Oh, you forwarded the link to Linda. Oh, awesome. You guys are really ahead of me here. Yay. Okay. Get to the right screen. That would be nice. There we go. Well, it's your birthday too. I love how it's right. So it's like I was going to write my daughter this morning, and this time always confuses me because it's the 21st today, and tomorrow's her birthday. And when she does it, when she knows I'm a day ahead, she figures it out, and she's like, "Oh, she'll say it ahead of time." Instead of being on the 23rd, she'll be like, write it on the 22nd. And it's like, and I can remember I got a good friend, a best friend, hers on the 22nd too. I got to make sure that, so all of you guys are these wonderful birthdays. I love it. I love it. And I love July. And I've always loved the number 5. And then finally I figured out when I put 23, 2 and 3 together, it comes out as 5. When I do my social, I got a 5. And it's like 5 and 8s just follow me. 5 and 8s. And 6s, 5, 8s, and 6s. And I'm like, oh my God. And 6 represents love to me. And when you get too many in a row, it can also mean that you're an unevolved. And I'm like, so I know the definition in my filing cabinet. And it's like, so when I have to evolve something, I'll hear 555, 666. And it's like, I have to evolve that love that's not allowing love to be there. And I'm like, oh, that's false love. Okay, I need to change that. I got to heal that. And, so we're just going to wait for Linda to come on and go there. Let's see. My finger is I feel like I just picked up something sharp. I don't know what it was. I don't know what that hurt. 2s and 5s. Yeah. Here she comes. Here she comes. So after this show, I will be doing TikTok. So and YouTube with TikTok, and usually that comes out as a different show. So if you think it's going to be the same show, it's not. So far, it's been a different show. Oh, before I get there, Nikki says I got false love also this week. The codependency. I'm wondering if it's part of the energy that came on the planet. Because it was like, oh yeah, you got my attention. Hi, darling. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us. Cha-cha-cha. I love how, because April's birthday is the 28th, and she starts right at the month. She goes, oh my God, my birthday month. And I'm like, I never really thought of it. You're right, it is July. Why can't we have all the month? All right. How can I help you? And I'm so glad you decided I'm going to donate 100 stars because there's a chance I could win. And Spirit goes, oh, well, you didn't win, but we're going to pay it forward so you run anyway. I just love it. So instead of 5 minutes, we do 8. Why not? Okay. How can I help?
Maybe recently I fell on the stairs. And with this whole ankle unable to walk, I've gotten over the hurdle of feeling sorry for myself.
Good.
But now it's the thing, like I took my first 2 steps today, even though it's still painful, but I feel like I still have a little bit of like, I'm feeling sorry for myself, and I'm trying to figure out why, because I feel like I've gotten over it, but I feel like I've given my own fucking way.
Okay.
A lot of times.
All right, let's look and see what happens because they're telling me a whole bunch of things. So as I'm looking and I'm hearing one, when we have to redo something, we have to discipline. So discipline is not about pain. It's about, I have an end goal. I have an end goal that I want to reach. And so every day I put through myself through the stress or whatever it is to achieve this greatness. And I learned from this one guy that was burnt from one of his army missions. And he, you know, you have to rip off the skin and you have to do all of this painful work. And they told him, oh, yeah, best you're going to have like this much range. Oh, no, he's got full range because he pushed it further and said, I'm going to endure this, but I'm not going to complain about it. Yeah. So he forced himself to go through it. The sensation in the body of the pain is doing what's called a towards and away from. Okay, so you're going, I'm going to walk again. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be strong. I got to get there for my kids. Yeah, man. I want to go out dancing again, whatever. But the body's going, So this is where the body becomes the mind. The body's going, oh, God, no, dread, no. And your body creates these chemical peptides, and then you go into the sensation. And it's like what happens when I go to lift. And if my body goes, oh, that's going to be heavy. I hear the belief, I hear the sensation, and it's like, oh, it's heavy. But so I've learned before I go to do lift weights, I just tap all that out. I heal it, whatever it is. And all of a sudden the sensation disappears, not just the thoughts, but the sensation. So when I go to pump it out, I just realized, oh, that was easy. And then it's about switching the perception. And this is what you have to also, we've got to figure out how to switch your perception. So in my mind, it's like, oh my God, 80 pounds was heavy. And I remember that sensation. So now I'm going to do 100 pounds. That's going to be heavy. See the perception, see the belief system. And now I healed the sensation out. I look back and I can flip the picture and go, oh my God, 80 is like, wait, what? That's nothing. And so will this 100. So I have to take the picture and put it in place and going, I'm going to get that too right now. And it's amazing how the body just says, let's do it. Okay. So you're feeling sorry for you actually is just the body saying no and pulls you away. Not that it doesn't want to get better. It's just saying this is how you memorize the pain. So what you're going to do is that I want you to notice that, well, let's look at this. When you got hurt, you got empathy from us. Oh, goodness, But have you gotten no empathy from certain people?
Yeah.
Oh, now notice that's tied to it. Okay, it's not that she did it to get empathy. That's not it. But at the time of when she hurt herself is that there was a part of you that you should have got empathy from somebody. And instead you were greeted with, from what I can see, is this instability, something about them. And you kind of expected them to show up differently, but they showed up, you're like, shitty. Does that make sense?
100%. Yeah.
And the whole body was still thinking about that. She's like, oh, I got to rush to my next thing. I got to take care of my kids. I got to do that. But the body's like going, yeah, we're still thinking about it. So when she went to walk or do whatever she was going to do, she hurt herself. The body had taken into play moments prior. It's on her mind, but I got this list to do. I have no choice. I got to go do this. And the body says, but we didn't process. And then boom. Because the number one thing was I didn't get empathy. Not that she was asking for it. Do you understand? It kind of shocked her. So she knows. So where they want you to go is they want you to take your left wrist, do third position, and push in nice and deep. Okay. Measure that. Walk in to that picture that not just before you fell. Notice there was no empathy. You kind of were like, wait, what? She's there because my sinuses are draining like crazy. So she has this inner crying or this something's going on. I can't explain it. Oh, my whole body's shivering. Okay, so the body's in shock as well. So remove, transcend, and let it go. You know what she's doing? She's seeing it. She's right there. All right, now in your mind, go back to the beginning of when you were going to go talk to this person or be in that space of that person. There you go. Just let it not play out. Oh, God, was there some shaming going on there? Some type of words where something Remove, transcend, and let it go. Go back to the beginning again. You hear something very specific, don't you? Zero in if you can. Notice how you had to take on their crappy feeling.
Oh, the fucking child.
And notice how deep that went. And you're like, I don't want to do that anymore. Okay.
No,
Now we're going to take and begin to notice that you're like, you're happy or whatever it is. And all of a sudden you have to show up the way they want. Remember how, I don't know if you were listening, you had to go feeling small. But I was working with, okay, you may have to do this afterwards, but because right now, what do you feel? Do you feel that real quick? What number is it?
I'm an 8 because it's making my left, like it's hurting and my eye feels like it's twitching in the back. And you know
Gotcha.
That day that I fell, my little was with me. My little was with me and she's helping me. Ooh, it's gonna make me cry.
Okay, so you are going to have, I figured this was a deep one. So definitely L3D, the intention of what they wanted, and you were supposed to show up that way. Now, this is important details. You could not stop it. I'm going to ask you, because this is what we did with Angela. Did you already know what kind of person they were going to be, what kind of how their behavior is going to be? Did you kind of have an idea of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I knew I was going to fall that day. I didn't know what day it was,
Okay.
but I knew that I was going down the stairs.
Okay, because it's like it was an energy from them, like a push. I don't know how to explain that, but I need you when you go to do this, and you can report back into the room, okay? But you will go and see them in your mind. I know they're going to behave this way, and I know they're going to make me behave this way. Okay? Oh, your little's like going, oh my God. Okay. Yeah, it knows it really well. Oh my God, it does. Okay, so I'm going to just double check. It definitely is L3D because it's like you were supposed to remain weak or something. I'm not sure exactly what.
Yeah.
Oh. So this is a huge one, but so we looked at the first thing. Now we need to look at how you know it in a deeper scale. So go heal R3D. I will be watching for your comment in the room. Okay. I'll be right there with you. All right.
Thank you, love you.
Oh, thank you. I love you too. And happy birthday. So it was wonderful. Thank you, Nikki, for that wonderful gift. Okay. And Katrina says about Mia, thank you, Brenda. I have to go for the night. I appreciate you taking the time to help. My niece, she feels really good. And she was dizzy before, but is gone now. And she said, oh my God, my dizziness is gone. Thank you, Spirit. I feel better than I did. That's a big plus for her. She said, thank you so very much. And is sending you all from me and Mia, love and light, and you all of the good night, and God bless. Thank you. I accept that with great love, and I give a hug in return. Thank you, Spirit, for your greatness. Yeah, what a wonderful, wonderful show this is. Again, if you want to continue after this show is over, there will be a different form of a show, and you go to YouTube or TikTok, and that format's a little different. And it's so I always find that fascinating. So let me, I'm not going to sing. I had commented on someone that I don't even want to say the word, and it said the name of the song. And so I sang like, and then I said, didn't fill in the words, but it was the harmony, and the algorithm has cut out 2 minutes of my show again, and then won't even allow me to download my show. It's like, here's your punishment. And I'm like, goodness gracious. And I said, Spirit, stop sending me songs. All right, let me get my link. Let me double check to make sure there's no more explanation. Okay, good. We're going to go there and All right, here we go. And I think Amy is next. You have a TikTok business class tomorrow. Excellent. And so Autumn has been using the energy tools, and she's been listening to Spirit about bringing her energy tools through. And honey, keep going. If it feels like it's working, you're getting something out of it, start documenting the proof. How has it changed me? What does this do? What is the words? How the intentions? And keep practicing with it and see if you keep getting results. And when you do, then say, hey, try it on somebody else. What will happen is that because new information is coming in, we need to make sure we can replicate it within ourselves and that we can articulate it in a certain way so other people will be able to understand what we're doing. So keep doing that. And mention me on your show. That helps. That send me the, if you do a show and you mention me, then you can send me the link and tell me the timestamp, and then I can put you on the drawing for the mentions. And right now, I'll tell you, good old April Lynn is just like, I really want that. I'm like, okay, I can mentions. Ooh, Linda says, I'm being 5. She says, I'm seeing light swirling with codes in my right eye. Ooh, okay, keep healing. Keep healing. Hi, darling. How are you?
I'm good. Happy birthday. A little bit early.
No, I'll take it. I'll take it. Because when I was the first thing I got this morning, somebody sent me a song and it was like, started the giggles in me. And I said, there's nothing wrong with joy. And
No,
I'm
there's
like,
nothing
and then like tomorrow, my husband says, you know what? Instead of having a busy day, we're just going to take you out tomorrow and we'll start celebrating it and then have breakfast. We'll do this. And I'm like, oh, okay. I like it. I'll take it. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say no.
No way.
Yeah, it's like stuff shows up at my door. What's this? Hold on. I can't even peek until I turn on the recorder. I've learned, because it's important to give back. But anyway, we're not here to have a chat like we usually do, young lady. You paid for something. What can we do?
I want to say thank you for everything that you've done over the
welcome.
past almost 4 years. I don't have the words in English as to how much these tools have helped me to become me and not that false, scared nobody.
See, then how you give back is that the testimonies, these things, and then how do you know there's a change. And when you can begin to feel, I thought I had to identify being a shit show all my life because I thought that's what it was. I mean, like the really big word was the rest of my life, I'm going to have to do this. And you wake up and you're like, I got choice, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you know?
How do I know? Okay.
I started to say that too. The first time that she was my guinea pig. Yes, I asked for a guinea pig. She shows up, and so she knows that she has to answer to some degree because that was what we did a Pavlov. But she's gotten so good at articulating that it makes her grow faster because she's like, ooh, I can compare the difference. Yeah, okay, go for it.
Because before I didn't have the words, and you don't read my mind, but you can read the shit that's sitting out here. And so you would be able to articulate what I was thinking and feeling. And now I can do it myself. And it's like, whoa.
Isn't that confidence?
It is. Like yesterday, I don't know, something triggered me in class. I don't know what it was for sure. I have no idea. I kind of have an idea, but that's okay. And we had a session after class, and you had another client shortly thereafter. So I got down to a 3, and it was okay. And I went and watched a movie and turned into a shit show. And you gave me a couple points and something to think as I was rubbing that point, and just like that, and I was back.
Oh, I gotta tell you, that was a new tool. I mean, well, it's a thing. I don't even know what to call them because it's the same tool, but it's a variation. And so I'm sitting there And I'm like, I kept hearing Amy, and I'm like, okay, what? I'm trying to watch, I'm trying to take a break. What? Is she sending me? No. What are you trying to say, Spirit? And they said, and so, I'm using my tools, and they said, intention. All right, so I wrote it down. And they said, if she, and again, how you end up asking. And it was not about her past. It was what she was doing in that present moment in the now. Okay, so the intention. Now, that's what she was supposed to say. And then she was supposed to say liver, because that was what was chosen. And then just rub these points. And I had no idea what it was going to do. I mean, the turnaround time, the turnaround. Oh my God! She's like screaming with joy through my phone. It was not even, I'm like, I don't even know if I had a chance to rub my points that fast. It worked because Spirit said, pay attention. And I was not expecting anything really in return. And it was just like, that blew my mind. Cancel, clear, delete. I'm like, thank you, Spirit. So I memorized it. And so I did it on me later. It was like, oh, that shit works. So we have another variation of the Source Point Healing Tool for class. And I'm so excited.
It is. It's just that quick.
Yes.
And it was like, oh, because I didn't know that I was going to be able to do my show on TikTok. And I
That's
did.
true. That's true. You had not been able to get on TikTok for nothing. And I'm like, there's something wrong. If I go on TikTok and she's not on, I'm like, something's wrong. Okay, how can I?
No.
Yeah. So how can I help you? Anything, all things. All right, we're going to take and we're going to continue on because it's not one thing that heals because it's always a spiral. Even though she was working on the now, we're going to take it back into the last few minutes. Ooh, that's something new. And they said that she's beginning to feel when the body wants to just be ego. And the chaos. I used to get enjoyment out of that, even though I hated it and was stressed, but I used it. Oh, they're still talking about program. They're still talking about program. And they said, there's one little question. Your 9-year-old has a question and it's peeking and it's coming through and says, okay, what about me? I mean, the whole point of this program was created because what about me? Very fair enough question. And I'll say, okay, I'm going to listen to this 9-year-old. I'm going to say, let's find out what that means. And I said, do you know what the have-tos are? Now, if you watch her 9-year-old's going to respond because all of a sudden it'll be an automatic movement. Now I'm going to ask her directly because she's trying to hold herself real still. Do you know what you have to behave? You have to do this. You have to. And it kind of grinds on you, doesn't it, a little? I don't want to have to do that. That was why that program was born. Okay. Another reason, because there's another reason. Okay. So, and I said, all right. And the 9-year-old says, well, if I have to feel small one more time, I'm like, and it didn't finish a sentence. It's pointing to how the inner vibration is. So I'm going to read that. And the inner vibration says, helpless. She's like, don't even say it. But I got to. You got to be able to hear me. Well, I said, so you're saying that you never took and healed helpless? I said, yeah, I haven't. I said, so you know the feeling of what helplessness is? Now I'm going to ask her adult self, do you know what helplessness feels like? Mm-hmm. Now you have another IH that's popped up. So your 13-year-old says, but I use helplessness and I've turned it around in my favor. So now she's got two inner parts that are trying to control her adult world. All right, 13-year-old, what do you mean? Well, when I see that they want me to act this way, I reject it out of my reality and I use it to my favor. Does that make sense? Oh, shit. Okay, now you have a 15-year-old. Your 15-year-old self says, oh, but man. Okay, I'm waiting for the 15-year-old to speak. The 15-year-old says, we suppress that shit. We've grown. We're mature. Okay. And then it says, we don't tolerate that shit. All right. And it says, I've had to become sweeter. So I kind of stop behaving that way. I had to put a self-imposed limitation so I didn't behave a certain way. That's how I matured.
Jesus.
And I said, yeah. And it was like, that's how I got my girlfriends to like me, people to like me. I will show that you can't live without me. Watch. Ooh, but you could not. Oh, Jesus. Your 11-year-old comes up. Oh, I'm jealous.
Jesus.
Okay, no wonder this program's a little hellacious. Okay, hold on. You're jealous. Yes, because I'm not going to act that way. Okay, so now you get all these personality parts. I'm not. She sounds like she's, batshit crazy, but she's not. This is the stuff that happens in you guys' world all the time. You just don't know it. Mm-hmm. She says, don't ignore me. Oh, Jesus, okay. So the 11-year-old says, I have this habitual fear that I'm going to be ignored. Oh, and I gave you a live example. Okay, good. Glad I could help. Oh my God, this is like a whole room full of, don't judge me. Don't judge me. Wait, have I talked to you before? Yes. You're 9-year-old. Okay. Not judging. I didn't mean to do that. I'm only reading what's in her aura. So anyways, these are very much real people. If you could go back in time, so if her 50-year-old goes back in time to the 13-year-old, the 13-year-old would be standing next to it, and those two go back and pick up the 9 and the 11-year-old. I didn't forget you. And they're all hanging. They would all argue. They would all go, no, I got it right. No, I got it right. And then, so what do we got to find? Well, one is common ground. And 2, we need to heal the emotional pain that sits in the physical body. So the common ground in a certain way is you all agree on, that's a disgrace. Look at them. And I'm watching how all of you are pointing the finger. Very interesting. And I said, well, what do you want to do? And they go, now here's another common ground. Where did our happy go?
That's been a theme.
And now I'm hearing, no, you do it. They're all throwing this around. I'm like, I'm trying to grab it. I'm trying to figure out what they're talking about. It's a self-imposed limitation. And what I'm looking at looks like there's 3, because it reminds me of cards. So, no, you do it. No, you do it. No, I'm not doing it. You do it. So a self-imposed limitation. Do you know what I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Explain it so that people understand that you grasp.
Self-imposed limitation is something happened and I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to see it. And when I do my best to get past it, or it's like
Let's go a little bit further. So that's also with the Arrested Development. Like, we're going to take the sidetrack with just a little bit more. And this is it. So as soon as she goes to do Amy, the 50-year-old self, the now, all the rest of them are come to the surface and goes, no, you can't go on TikTok. You're too shy. No. So that's a self-imposed limitation. Oh, you can't stand up and do that. They won't like you. You need to show that you believe in God, or you're going to be condemned by that person. And so you stop yourself. And instead of being a certain way, that just overrides and you end up becoming this other part of you. And they're all trading these self-imposed limitations. And I said, are they serving you? Yes. Are they still serving you? Well, no. So then it becomes a conditioned process. So that means the power of choice is at play. Her 50-year-old self gets to grab it. The body goes, her body's not happy. Hold on. But she doesn't know how to trust. She doesn't know how to trust her parts. She doesn't know how to trust. And it's like that ends up being. Now, if I asked, does she know how to trust spirit? And it said 100%. So there's a wedge of distrust. And they're all agreement. So there's another common ground. They're all in agreement. And I said, well, then how can we break these self-imposed limitations down? And they said, it's all about the heart. We can't be congruent. We can't be congruent with our heart, our mind, and our gut. So we can't be confident, or I'm going to get my heart crushed. So, oh boy, Holy crap. I think that's your 13-year-old. Yeah. Like the other day, I was really confident and I went and did what I wanted to do. And all of a sudden I got my ass chewed out and I was not happy and I was hurt and I was in pain. And oh my God, how can I trust? So she's looking for a way to trust. You just got an epiphany because your mouth dropped. She's got shit to work. She's got evidence now she can work with. So you need to go self-soothe those littles because they're like, I'm not giving you my power to trust ever again. And this is, so you're going to be doing R3S. And let me just explain for all of you again. When you take, yeah, I'm not saying that out loud, but yeah. Okay, so this is definitely have to self-soothe with R3S, okay? Okay, especially that twitch, and you may have to walk through that whole picture of what you just said. Because this goes not just from what she just wrote, but it also goes for if you ever catch yourself, you tell when you're in a program, I don't care how old you are, fine. If it's taken and I guess I can't have it. Oh, hold on. That's an old belief system. Let's heal that out. Fine. If I get, you need to change those out because your adult self is asking for your levels of consciousness to rise and let go of those old programs. So you can step into the new timeline with love, because that's all you are, love and above. Mm-hmm. She's like, I got ammo. I can heal. I mean, you can see it on her face. She's like, I can see. She's like, oh, I can't see. Okay, now this is how much I know she wants to do it. See that little snap wrist? Put your arm up. We thought about this one day. And we're like, how can we touch our pulse points? But when our hands are busy, so you get one of those strap things. You glue a rock in there and you put them in that position. I mean, we were trying to think of all these different things to do and how to do them. See, and
this one's for deep, this one's for soft.
Deep and soft. She's got two separate ones. See, that's smart. See, and then Autumn came along and she's like, well, my hands are like this. I can't quite do that. So there's always a way we can help you. Yeah, magnets. Always a way. And even if like I was in a situation where I'm being my ass to shoot out, no, you can't heal. So I learned how to do it in my mind. I know what pressure feels like. So I just imagine that my hand was on my forehead and I could feel the pressure. And I'm like, you want to stop me from healing? Yeah. In the meantime, I'm like sitting there pushing on points, or I'd find some corner of something and I would push my wrist on and I imagine it on my head. Get that smile off your face. Whatever. I'm going to heal while you fly off your freaking handles. I don't care. Because once I heal this, then that energy, my inner world's going to change the outer world and you're all going to go poof. That energy will just... And the day that he was like defeated, he knew that he didn't have that power anymore because I wasn't responding to it. Now all of a sudden he started to shrinky dink. Oh, I got a little water on him. Reminds you of the Wicked Witch of the West, or men thinking, yes, if you were like get cold. Okay, good God. I don't need imagery. Go away. But she's got this. Notice the confidence. Mm-hmm. Yeah, got it. That's what we want. That's what we want. She goes, what crystal did you use on the bracelet? Did it matter?
I just used their glass beads. So they are.
Beads. So it was something. So again, she's looking for pressure, soft or hard. And so whatever fit worked. So if you wanted to add that extra properties from a stone, that's your choosing, your belief system. Go for it. Amp and ramp, but to do it in a way that see, this is the confidence. Shit's here, chaos is here, but I've got confidence, and I know I'm going to kick it to the curb because you already know the end result is going to be awesome.
I went to the Cairo today.
Oh yes,
and I hit there first, and then I went to Walmart, and I got a few more things for the box.
Oh,
and yes. And as I was driving home, I'm like, I didn't absorb anything in there.
I got to do a whole series on absorption of energies. I feel like that's going to be a whole class all by itself. But keep going.
As I was driving home, because usually when I walk out, I feel like shit, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta get this shit. But I did. It was like I was down the road, and I'm like, I better just peanut butter Walmart, just to be safe.
Isn't it amazing? You don't know what
And
the
I was
limits
like-
are. So she's like, I'm going to peanut butter whole Walmart. Why not? I love it.
And it was like I can absorb it. I was like impressed with myself.
See, that's the other part of the competition. You're like, I think I passed a test. Yay me! And there's nothing wrong with having love and above for yourself. That's awesome. So thank you so much for coming on, dear. Go heal. I'll see. I know I'll see you on TikTok soon because you're like, I'm not putting up with this shit. Good. All right, honey, I love you.
And happy birthday.
Thank you. All right, bye.
Bye.
Linda says, I feel like I'm at zero now. Cats are such a special beings. My cat Foxy came to sit on me. Ooh, I love when they help heal and help me release and transmute. Yeah. Did you know in Atlantis times, yes, us healers used our crystals to do our work. But when traveling outside villages, would travel with cats. No, not using the crystal so much because some thought it would be suspicious and they were very weary about it. Sorry, my glasses. So cats helped with the energy of healing work. Yes. The one thing I learned about cats and dogs is that cats bring in the light, okay, and help transmute. And the dogs will sit there and help you take and transmute, and they'll take it on and process it out. And they hold that energy of love in the now where cats don't really hold it, but they do. I don't know how to explain that. But they're like, yeah, we got a job to do. That's why we were chosen. I mean, same for horses. I mean, I have been seeing nothing but horses. Like this one horse will go into the hospital. He picks the patient it goes up to and then it starts giving some love on that patient and just really spreading love. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, horses are amazing. Horse therapy. Yes. Oh my God. I would love to be able to get on a horse and go riding and just snuggle with the horse. Thor has two beautiful horses and it's like Mabel cracks me up and she did a video the other day and I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry. I can't remember his name. Not Thunder. What's his name? Oh, I can't remember. Anyways, she had the camera. He puts his little snaz right in, or his big ass snaz right into the camera. I'm like laughing because it's like, look at me. Anyways, it just cracks me up. But birds. Oh my God. I go out there and my birds, and it's hilarious because V, she's our pink and gray galar, and she likes to have temper tantrums. Okay. But as soon as she sees mom and dad come out, I don't care if she is on the other side of the cage. Oh my God. She doesn't fly. So she will run like hell, upside down, flip herself over. Hi. And then if you're not paying attention, come on, talk to me. I'm like, okay, Vivi. She was named after my daughter, Veronica. And we still call her V. And then we have another bird that we call Missy Jean that's named after my daughter, Veronica. Like, I couldn't get enough of my daughter, apparently. And they both have the attitude of my daughter. So that makes me laugh. What about a dog that acts like a cat? Yes. Probably reincarnated as a dog and remembers cat-like. I mean, my cat used to play fetch, and it was like, my dog was like, I ain't paying that. And the cat goes, well, fine, I will. Yeah, but it's all cool. It's so cool. Consciousness is amazing. So was Kilo. But now I have Milo, and and he is so hyper. He helps. And they do. I mean, like, you and Mama was coming on to talk, and you could see the dog was like, yeah, Mama, you're not giving me attention, Mama. And, that's kind of cool. Okay. Linda, I do feel that you are at zero, and I know that your frequency has increased wonderfully, and I'm watching you. Now, here's the thing. You're going to be getting tested whether you're, when it comes up, holy shit, just like Amy's, you'll find out whether you're compatible or not. You'll start to pay attention. And this is where you begin to rise out of the chaos, because you always have chaos and you have peace. But when it's mingled and you get to choose on the quantum field, understand quantum is energy. And when you get to choose the energy from the field. So when you take and have this stuff that you felt like you had no power over, and you go and heal out your stuff, your life force comes back, and all of a sudden it gives you this strength. And instead of having to feel like you're going to be gun shy and you can't get back in the arena, or you have to find another way to live because that one's taken, no, you begin to rise. You begin to rise, and everything else starts to fall away. Now, the question is, how do rats help? Every animal, every rock, every tree, yes, our mothers are here. Every rock, animal, and tree. If you ever see me grab my hair or rub my lips, that represents mothers. So if you have a mother that's passed, understand, let go of it. Represents mothers. These consciousness, if you are giving love and transmutation, consciousness can show up as anything and all things. And certain animals will have certain personalities that will engage in the energy field to what you need. Like, I will go out there and I will see some birds and they're like, you got no personality. And then all of a sudden I look at others and other ones and they act like a person. And the other one, is in between. And it depends on how consciousness wants to show up as to help itself. I'm consciousness. Not that I'm conscious, which I am right now, but I'm consciousness, and I took in form. And so God is playing me to in an expression. Your mom went over there. Everything is energy. Yes. That's why when you go on the quantum field and you go and the moment they were measuring and everything is a wave, superpositioning, all these different thoughts, everything that happened. But the moment you paid attention, you gave it your focus, it turned into a particle that can be measured as matter that's not matter at all, because the definition of matter in some people's minds is it's solid, but really it is 0.0001% vibration that's kind of dense, but the rest of it, 99.999% is empty space. And what is in that space? Time, space, dimensions, information, consciousness. It's not empty, it's not lost, it's consciousness. But it's how we use the contrast of yin and yang, dark and light, that create what we get to see. Well, they just like to go deep, can't they? Yes, anything to do with feminine. If you feel like that is what you're putting in your filing cabinet, that if you see this and your mother represented more, or your grandmother represented more as a mother, then yeah, get that love and kiss. Nikki says, I've been noticing flying bugs that have been landing on me in my home and let me take them outside. I am like number 3 this week. Moths, fly, bug. That was a colorful, I never saw. My daughter, I think, is the bug whisperer. And she's like, I don't want this jet. Well, all right, now I got to have it. But anyway, she would always have these bugs. I mean, roly-polies, these beetles, these flies, these crickets, you name it, spiders, any bug. If spirit wants her to pay attention and she's not, they will send bugs. And all of a sudden she'll be like, what? And then one time she thought she stepped on a bug, and then she's like, where did it go? And the next thing you know, it was like sitting on her foot, and she goes, you weren't there. They will get her attention. And then she'll like, I think the bugs are talking to me again. And then I'll give her a message. She goes, oh, that makes total sense of what's going on in my world. Thank you, bugs. She's not a bug girl, but she's learned not to, she doesn't hate them. She don't kill them. She usually, scoots the butts outside. But, yeah, I still have problems. No, I don't. Can't clearly, I don't have any problems right now. But the thing is how moths would come and chew the food or birth themselves or get in my, clothing. And it's like, what's eating away at me that would affect my nutrition, but still have the ability to burrow anywhere to give new life. And so it's like, if you keep certain things unchecked, you can irritate your own self. And I was like, oh, and that's when I started to notice the sensations before I could even hurt anything. And I started to really dig deep in that. So you can get a message anywhere, anything from anywhere from consciousness, if that makes sense. You guys have been awesome. I love the birthdays, wishes, and all of that. I really appreciate everything. She says, I've noticed that I'm not afraid of spiders anymore. And also, since the others have started landing on me. Yeah, you just start to realize that, where did I learn it? Most of the time, we will learn it because we experience the horror somebody else. That's why I swear to God, I got to do a class just on energies and how we deal with them. When I watched people respond to things that scared them, the frequency came in and scared the shit out of me. See, I remember having, and I'm sure y'all heard me tell me the story. When I was 4 years old, I fell out of a car and there was no evidence. It looked like I was hurt, but I couldn't walk. And nobody, kids taking care of kids, so they didn't think anything of it. And they made the littlest, she's 5 years older than me, so she was 9, and she's really no bigger than me. And she was carrying me to the house while all the other grown-ups and adults were over there, blah, 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 whatever. And, didn't really give a rat's ass until, and as I'm going up to the steps, and I remember that it was muddy, so we had planks that we had to walk across. My sister almost dropped me. That I was like, what's going on my leg? So I lifted up, and and if you understand, because it was slit, my leg was slit all the way to the bone didn't break. Thank you, Spirit. But all the dirt, gravel, and grass, and the way the blood oozes, and all of this, it was there. I'm looking at it because I thought I had a bug up my pants, and so then I'm like looking at it, and then my sister looks down. She's trying to very carefully walk across the things without dropping me, and she looks down. And she screamed so hard that my body vibrated before the scream hit me, because it was like coming out of her body first. And then it shrilled through me that I screamed on top of that because I didn't know what I was scared of. So I had carried the startle. Now, that was my response until I healed it. And once you heal it, where did you learn how to respond to bugs and things like this? Where did you learn it? And it usually is because we were under 7 or even under the age of 12 that we watched and we took on that. This is how you're supposed to be. You know what I mean? I've had a fun time talking and communicating with you today, and I'm glad that you were able to join me. If you'd like to join me again in about another 10 minutes, I got to go take my break, and then I'm going to get onto YouTube and TikTok, and that's, like I said, it ends up being a different show. That's what we've been noticing anyway. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I get excited when this happens. So thank you. I'm going to take that joy and I'm going to tap it in, and I'm going to just soak up all the love. And I love you too. And this way we can change. And the more love we have, we cancel out the heavy, the chaos, the dark. What does she mean? We don't kill it, we transform it. You can't create it or destroy it, you transform. So this is how I want you to look at it. What happens when you go into a dark room and you flick on the light? Where does it go? Oh, thank you for the 500 stars. I appreciate it. I want coffee. I love that. Where does it go? Where does it go? And people would have beliefs that if I turn on my light, I'm going to get all this evil attached to me. No. Well, if I'm so spiritual and happy, something's going to come and it's a belief. It's a belief. You can transmute. You can change it. They have learned through prayer and communication and love when you hold it. And I've experienced it all the time that when people are in that space with me, whether it's a classroom, whatever, that rises, that frequency rises, but it also raises the vibration. They're two different things. And what happens is that people will get off and they'll go home and they'll go to, I can't go to sleep because I'm so happy. And wait 2 seconds, and usually the husband come along, and this is just a belief on some things, and he yanks your ass down. You're like, oh, that helped. But if you change your environment and you learn how to hold this, you can actually transform people. Linda says, I love that. Oh, she's responding to her. She goes, my kids love Bugs Life. I love that too. Love that too. Because if we can allow ourselves to learn and to grow with our spirit, then we can become a spiritual human. And that's what this fifth dimension is all about, to be spirit first. Okay. Now, what is our hashtags? Some of you are going to get so good, you're going to start slamming them in the room. Hashtag resolve to evolve. You're getting to know it. Hashtag heal instead of deal. Hashtag feel it to heal it. Hashtag you can heal it. I can heal it. Hashtag when in doubt, put your hand on your head and heal it out. Okay. Or you can just, if you hear spirit, put it in your filing cabinet. Stop. Out of sync. Heal it out. Here's a good image for you. All right. I love you very much.